Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome back to Sons of Liberty 1773. I'm your host, Bill Bailey, who will be channeling the patriotism of America's founding fathers. Today is January 7th, 2024, year of our Lord. Well, more tyranny is coming out of D.C. The totalitarian regime that installed Biden is now widening their dragnet to arrest, charge, and imprison not only American patriots that were baited into entering the Capitol on January 6, 2021, but now anyone that was simply peacefully protesting on the lawn outside the building. Listen to this.
And what happened inside of the building? An important note when it comes to our prosecutions about those who remained outside the building. We have used our prosecutorial discretion to primarily focus on those who entered the building or those who engaged in violent or corrupt conduct on Capitol grounds. But if a person knowingly entered the restricted area without authorization, they had already committed a federal crime. Make no mistake, thousands of people occupied an area that they were not authorized to be present in the first place.
Marjorie Taylor Greene posted about this on X, and Tim Pool commented on her comment. MTG said they are going to prosecute innocent people that didn't even go into the Capitol, who had no idea about any lines they crossed on Capitol grounds that the American taxpayers pay for. It is the people's house, right? It's our public property. While not prosecuting over 60% of the daily crime in D.C. Tim Pool commented to her, "I've been warning, they will not stop there. Those who posted on social media in support of January 6th protest will be targeted as well." I sadly agree with Tim. They arrested 3 more, midnight raids the early morning of January 6th. They're still arresting and incarcerating American patriots that love this country, that believe in our founding documents, in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, in the Declaration, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. This tyrannical regime in Washington, D.C. hates us. They hate America. They hate our constitutional republic, and they want to destroy any opposition. Whenever a communist coup has been pulled in another country, first thing they do is go after their political opponents, and that's what we're seeing. And I don't know that they'll go after the people that have posted on social media unless they win in November. If they win in November, folks, the level of tyranny that's coming, let me put it this way, you ain't seen nothing yet. Listen to Merrick Garland, one of their soldiers of the police state.
The Justice Department has engaged in what has become one of the largest and most complex and resource-intensive investigations in our history. So far, we have charged over 1,250 individuals and obtained over 890 convictions. Our work continues. As I said before, the Justice Department will hold all January 6 perpetrators at any level accountable under the law, whether they were present that day or were otherwise criminally responsible for the assault on our democracy.
Just a piece of crap, isn't he? So the Biden DOJ, the brown shirts, are going to continue to come after patriotic Americans over, well over 100 million, probably 60% of the country that is pro-America first, because we're a threat to the regime. And this is the brown shirts, and they're coming to arrest you and your neighbors and anybody else that supports Trump and making America great again. They are evil people. They are the enemy of America. DC Drano shared this yesterday. It was 3 years ago today that Ashley Babbitt was murdered by her government while unarmed. Keep in mind she's a veteran of the United States Air Force, small business owner in California, and somebody that loved this country, active in politics. There at the Capitol, peacefully protesting, got, baited into the Capitol with many others, and was no threat. I mean, the girl wasn't 5'5", and was just shot point blank range. Her family has never received justice, and we won't stop until they do. And they have filed $30 million lawsuit against the federal government for wrongful death. I think it should be $300 million. But we will never forget Ashley Babbitt. And she was denied a military funeral, by the way, by the United States Air Force. And they're trying to take away her family from ever getting any of her military pension. These people are completely evil. I think Ashley Babbitt, when we take our country back, should be buried, moved and buried at Arlington Cemetery, because she is a hero to this country. Stick with me, guys. You're going to want to hear this one for sure. Ben Bergquam, who has just been doing outstanding work at the southern border, really going into harm's way, exposing the illegal invasion of our country and just who these seditious forces are that are coming across our border, fighting age men, millions of them. He just interviewed a guy from the Middle East that was coming across the border. It's 5 minutes long. I'm going to play it. You got to listen to every word, especially the end, okay? This might be the most insightful and terrifying interview I've ever done. Iranian national who crossed illegally into California warns me and America of what's coming. You must watch the whole thing. Listen to what he says about Trump versus Biden. It truly is incredible. Please share and help wake up the sleeping masses. Biden and the Democrats are national security threats. I would trade this guy for any of the Democrats in power right now.
If I was a governor here, I would be afraid, because all of these people in China, military age, India, military age, even myself, I'm military age. And there's a question is coming up in here, one scary question. If an incident between US and China occur in Taiwan, what these people do? Are they come aside of US or they take China's side? Don't know, and no one's know.
What was the route you took from Iran?
Come to Turkey, and Turkey to Mexico, Mexico to United
So
States.
what would prevent a terrorist from doing the same thing?
Nothing. Exactly nothing.
That's scary.
Real scary. I'm telling you, friend, if you see the Europe, the people, politician in Europe is sleeping as well. Like, don't be offended, but Joe Biden is sleeping at the moment.
It's terrible.
It's far more than terrible. Not for US, for the all of the war. Just look at the war. We have 3 wars. We have sanction. We had a recession in the entire planet. Everyone say I'm wrong, but if you like it or not, if a recession come in US, there will like a pandemic comes in all the countries, and Joe Biden is doing this. It's not good.
So Trump was better. You want Trump back in office?
Despite that they fears us, if you come, Trump is back, you will be deported. Yes, I want Trump back.
Wow, that's a powerful statement.
Despite that, because he just create. We have a sentence in our country. That means a lot for this moment. We say, I said in Persian, then I will rephrase it in English for you. We say. آنکه با مادر خود زنا کند با دیگران چه ها کند. That means if someone betray his family and his mother, just think about that, what he can do with the others.
Yeah, if he doesn't respect them, how will he respect
Joe
you?
Biden don't respect the US.
Wow.
That's my opinion.
Thank you. Are you Muslim, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm born Muslim, but I don't believe in Islam.
More secular.
More secular.
Yeah.
Secular, a non-believer. And I just want to say, if you ask me why I didn't go to Europe, that was easier for me. But I don't trust them because they don't help any people. And the last thing I say, I don't know if it's Reagan or if it's Nixon said that. I think Reagan said that. Reagan once told the people of the world, we are the last stand against falling into democracy. If US falls, everyone falls.
Wow. How concerned? So you're a secular. I was speaking to some of these guys from Turkey. The same thing. They're fleeing. How bad is Islam for the world?
How much you want me to be straight?
As straight as you can be.
It's terrible. It's the new virus. The wave of virus is coming, and you cannot prevent it like this. If you think people from radical jihadist Islam and radical system of Islam coming to your country and they take an oath of U.S. citizen, and you think when they come a time that they have to take a side between Islam and U.S., you would be so naive if you think they take U.S. side. Their mind are dead. Once I asked one of my Islamist friend in Iran, he's a good guy. He's a very respected guy at my office. I asked him, if your prophet tells you have to detonate a nuclear bomb, what would you do? He said, if the prophet says, it means it comes from Allah, and I would do it. And I respond that you are one footstep away from being a terrorist. He don't believe me, but it's it.
Yeah.
Islam is terrible.
How many terrorists do you think we have in America now?
I don't have the numbers, but lots. It's about lots of terrorists, and just people saying about America that America is not safe because of guns, but it's ridiculous. America is safe. America has the strongest democracy and politics because of the guns, because of your First and Second Amendment. America, guns don't kill people. Radicalists kill people.
Yeah.
Guns just do the action I wanted, not they.
Right.
No guns come, get a foot and kill people in a line. But Islamists will do. Islamists will come here, get the guns, get the C4 detonations, and kill people. They're not good. They're not good.
Islamists will come here, get the guns, get the C4, and they will kill people. Somebody that lives in the Middle East, I think he probably knows. But what a good guy, to be honest. He gets what's going on. He understands that what keeps America strong is our Bill of Rights, First and Second Amendment, to quote him. And the actual quote from Reagan is, if we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. But he's warning us, and he's saying how stupid Joe Biden is. And would you vote for Trump? Would you rather have Trump? He said, even knowing he might send me out of here, yes. Pretty powerful words right there. And I think we should heed his words, that the terrorists are among us, and they will kill. And Joe Biden is responsible, and his criminal regime, for this invasion of millions and millions of fighting age men. Just like he said about the Chinese nationals that are coming in here, fighting age men. Look, and I think I got to credit Kerry Lake is where I heard this came from. When men are fleeing tyranny and oppression for another country and they leave their homeland, they bring their family with them. When they're heading to war, to a foreign battlefield, they leave their family at home. And I think that's absolutely true. And he's saying, what are these Chinese nationals going to do when things go south in Taiwan and there's war between China and America? He says, we don't know. Well, I think I kind of do. I think I got a pretty good sway of what way the pendulum would go in that scenario. I got some headlines I'm going to just kind of breeze through real quick. Desperate for votes, Biden claims his administration approved $132 billion in student loan forgiveness, trying to buy votes. And look at how many of us have worked, got our first loan, kept our credit good, borrowed money, and had to work our asses off to pay it back, right? How many people, I can tell you, I know lots of people that worked at Pizza Hut or McDonald's to pay their way through college, got student loans and paid them back. When you sign your name and agree to borrow money, you're obligating yourself to paying the money back. You're not obligating me. I'm not paying for your college. So this stuff just pisses me off. And the college system has failed the kids, right? I mean, they're not teaching, they're indoctrinating. And when they're done with all this wokeism, they can't get a job. They've got some worthless degree. I mean, you've heard me say this many times. If you want a good little socialist now, send them to a public school. And then if you want a growing communist, send them to a state campus. Well, I'm sorry, kids. You signed, you borrowed money, you pay it back. We're not paying back your debt for you. There's consequences in life, and it's a good lesson for you to learn. Said the Gateway Pundit. In his first campaign speech, Joe Biden lies, says went to funerals of imaginary police officers who were killed on January 6th. There were no police officers killed on January 6th. None. Zero deaths of any law enforcement on January 6th. There were 4 patriots that died. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boyland, and 2 others from the violence. I mean, Ashley Babbitt was flat out murdered. Roseanne Boyland was beat to death. But no, Joe, you went to no funeral of Capitol Police because none died. The guy is a serial liar. I mean, how does he get away with this? Isn't it unreal when there's no longer a freedom of the press and it's just the Orwellian media, the state media? You can say whatever you want, and they parrot it out to the masses. And it's amazing how many morons are out there that just gobble this stuff up as being truth. This story breaking over at the Hill. I've heard from 2 people very familiar with the DeSantis campaign, a major donor and a high-level political operative, that if the Florida governor loses the Iowa caucus to former President Donald Trump, as expected on the night of January 15, he will either drop out of the race that night or make his announcement the next morning. Editor's note, the DeSantis campaign vigorously denies this assertion. This op-ed has been updated to include the following statement from the campaign. Ron DeSantis is in for the long haul. I don't believe that, folks. I think this story is true. More than that, both believe DeSantis will then very begrudgingly endorse Trump for president after he drops out. If he doesn't and endorses, globalist Nikki Haley or somebody else, he's done forever. I think he's ruined his career already, to be honest. This actually is no shocker to me. J.P. Morgan made 10 predictions for 2024, one of them being Biden will pull out of presidential race over poor health. I think that is planned, and they will install somebody, the Democrat machine, their next puppet. But I do not believe Biden will be on the ticket come November. The woke cult continues its assault on our Christian national identity by removing and destroying our American history. This time, the Biden administration announced they will be removing a statue of William Penn from a Philadelphia park commemorating his founding of Pennsylvania, situated at William Penn's former home. David Marcus posted on X. The Biden administration is taking down a statue of William Penn, not Robert E. Lee, not Stonewall Jackson, but William Penn. These people hate America. There's no doubt anymore. This posted yesterday at Fox News. Biden admin removing William Penn statue in rehabilitation of park commemorating founding of Pennsylvania. William Penn statue removal announced for park that sits on his former home. The National Park Service announced they will be removing a statue of William Penn from a Philadelphia park commemorating his founding of Pennsylvania, situated on his former home. The rehabilitation proposal for William Park is meant to provide a more welcoming, accurate, and inclusive experience for visitors. NPS said in a news release, it includes expanding interpretation of the Native American history of Philadelphia and was developed in collaboration with representatives from 3 American Indian tribes. The park is named for the ship Welcome, which Penn took to Pennsylvania in 1682. The park was established 300 years later. I wonder if the Biden administration even realizes that William Penn purchased the land from the Lenape Indians on July 15, 1682. Penn drafted a Charter of Liberties for the first settlement, one guaranteeing free and fair trial by jury, freedom of religion, freedom from unjust imprisonment, and free elections. I can see why this administration doesn't like him. Penn, who fled to America because of religious persecution, sent out a clarion call to other faiths around the world that he had found a safe harbor for them to worship. Religious minorities soon after fled their countries for America. He attracted Huguenots. That's how my family came here in the late 1600s. Mennonites, Amish, Catholics, Lutherans, and Jews from England, France, Holland, Germany, Sweden, Finland, Ireland, and Wales. William Penn is the founder of Pennsylvania. William studied at Oxford University and later studied law. At the age of 22, William Penn was touched through a sermon delivered by Thomas Lowe entitled "The Sandy Foundation Shaken." To the heartbreak of his father, he gave up his brilliant future to convert to the Christian truths of the Society of Friends, or Quakers, who at the time were greatly scorned and ridiculed. In his treatise on the religion of the Quaker, William Penn proclaimed, "I do declare to the whole world that we believe the Scriptures to contain a declaration of the mind and will of God in and to those ages in which they were written, being given forth by the Holy Ghost moving in the hearts of holy men of God, that they ought also be read, believed, and fulfilled in our day, being used for reproof and instruction, that the man of God be perfect. They are a declaration and testimony of heavenly things themselves, and as such we carry a high respect for them. We accept them as the words of God himself," the Holy Bible, the words in the Bible. Young Penn became a Quaker preacher and writer, suffering imprisonment over 3 times for his faith. Once he was imprisoned at the Tower of London for 8 months. Can you imagine that? That was a medieval torture chamber. So this guy is a, should I say it? Do I stay or say it? Christian nationalist, one of the founders of our great America. And this guy's not even a founding father, which they despise. I mean, it's before that. You know, if I lived anywhere near that statue, I would organize a rebellion and blockade them from taking that down. This is just more woke BS. It's more destruction of our American history. Hey, I found a video. I think I've seen it before, of George Soros, a little younger. If you don't think this guy is evil, listen to him. And this is who is funding the ruin of America and has ruined many other countries.
Financial collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Are you that powerful?
No, I think there's a great misunderstanding.
The Prime Minister of Malaysia said that the region spent 40 years trying to build up its economy, and along comes a moron like Soros with a lot of money, and it's all over. He called you a criminal.
It's easier for him to blame an outside force. I think that I've been blamed for everything. I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do.
Do you believe in God?
No.
It's easy to blame outside forces. Yeah, you're the outside force that destroyed their country. Doesn't believe in God. Was giddy, apparently, that he was... and he's Jewish, that he was helping Nazis track down Jews and have them marched off to the death camps. He's as evil as they come. And this is one of the heroes of the left. And now his son is taking over his fortune to continue the destruction of humanity, I can only assume. Lastly, this is over at the New York Post. Initial U.S. employment reports overstated by 439,000 jobs in 2023. Of course, this administration wants to gaslight America that they're creating jobs when they're not, that the economy's booming, that inflation is down, energy costs are down, and the American dream is alive and well. I think we all know it's bullshit, and they're going to continue to lie, just like they said inflation's in check, and that we don't need to, we'll be lowering interest rates, and the market shot way up. Then they went back on that and reneged and then changed their mind again. But it's not good. The invasion of there's nothing good that has happened under the Biden administration. They have nothing to crow about. They have nothing to brag about. That's why when he went to Valley Forge, the only thing he could do is say the greatest threat to democracy is Donald Trump and his MAGA and the MAGA Republicans. That was his speech. Hate America speech. President, loose term, right? The resident of the United States declaring that 2/3 of America are enemies of the state. And we've seen they're going after everybody at the beginning of this video, right? Pretty soon they're going to be, they're arresting and imprisoning the midnight raids, taking grandma or grandpa right away from the grandkids, or mom and dad away from the kids in the wee hours in the morning, armed SWAT teams, dragging them off to prisons, letting them rot away in a solitary confinement with 3 years with no trial date, no counsel, no nothing. This is communist tyranny. This is evil, wicked stuff. And so now they're expanding their dragnet to go out. Anybody that was even there in Washington, any of them Trump supporters, we've got to get them all. If they stepped on the grass, we're going to go arrest them. And then Tim Pool saying, well, no, it's even going to go beyond that. If they posted on social media in favor of January 6th, they're going to come after them. That's all going to happen if we don't stop this regime come November this year and elect Donald Trump. If they win again, folks, it's going to get bad. Our chance to take the country back at the ballot box will have ended. And there's only kind of one box left, if you catch my drift. But hopefully we can take this country back peacefully. Nobody wants violence, right? Founders didn't want violence. They tried time and time again for the crown to listen to them and stop the tyranny. And they didn't listen. And so they declared their independence, and there's 27 grievances, right? And everybody thinks it's just taxation without representation. You haven't read the Declaration. That didn't even make the top 10. I think it's number 15. Not that wasn't a grievance, but there were many more. But if you read the Declaration, you could read it like it's today. It was written today, and that the tyrannical government wasn't the British Empire, but the DC communist. But anyways, I don't have time to include it in this video because I'm trying to keep it short, but Tucker Carlson just did an incredible interview with Clay Higgins, a representative, prior law enforcement, that knows everything that happened on January 6th. And he said it's completely damning, completely a Fed setup. And if Speaker Johnson, which he's working with, will just release everything, the transcripts, the rest of the video, a lot of stuff, and the American people get to see what happened, 1,000% they're going to see that this was a complete Fed setup, a Fed surrection. It was completely staged, and it was all about taking out Trump and his supporters. I think I left that link. I will leave the link as a community post. Actually, you know what? I'll leave it as a pinned comment in this video, the link to that Tucker interview, and you can go on X or whatever and watch it. But watch it. It's like an hour, but it's incredible, and you'll learn a lot. So if you're new to this channel and can relate with the content, please subscribe. We'd love to have you as a member of our community. Checkmark the notification bell to get all notifications. Give these videos a thumbs up, folks. It helps push the algorithm out so more people can see the content. And please comment down below. I love reading your comments. May God continue to bless this great nation, and may the good Lord keep you and yours safe. Until next time, Sons of Liberty signing off.